Before the sun could crack the skyline, I'm already on my grind, moving on the thin borderline between surviving and advancing, between patience and demand. And every move is calculated, ain't no room for misunderstanding. The hustle ain't romantic like they painted in the movies. Ain't no slow-mo montage sequences with background ads and Uzis. It's cold coffee and bus transfers, second shifts and busted sneakers. It's broken promises from bosses and the silence of your speakers. When the phone stop ringing and the options start to narrow, when you gotta find the marrow in the bone to face tomorrow. I watch my pops work doubles just to keep the heat from dying. Watch my mother swallow pride in places that was trying to reduce her to a number, to a function, to a fixture. But she moved with more composure than the suits inside the picture. That's the blueprint right there. Dignity inside the struggle, knowing when to hold your tongue and when to break the subtle shackles that they place on you, disguised as opportunity. They offer you the crumbs and call it economic unity, but real ones see the game for what it is beneath the surface. Every grinding hour logged is adding value to your purpose. The block is like a chessboard, every piece knows its position. Some move reckless off emotion, I move cold for precision. I seen brothers with more talent fall because they lack the patience. Seen the gifted get demolished by their own self-degradation. Hustle ain't just physical, it's mental, it's spiritual. The ritual arising when defeat feels numerical. The odds don't favor grinders, yet the grinders beat the odds. We've been defying systems since we been defying gods. Word to premiere, every sample got a story in its grain. Every loop contained the wisdom of somebody else's pain. 12 hours deep and still I got another 6 remaining. The body wants to quit but something deeper keeps sustaining. It's the faces of the ones before who never got their chapter. The uncles and the aunties who worked hard but found no answer. I carried them inside my chest like armor. But forged from iron, every setback is a lesson. And I'm listening, not crying. They sleeping on the work I put in. Let them get their rest though, because the ones who grind in silence always pass the test, yo. Hard to earn and even harder just to hold once you obtain it. Success without the struggle is a river without rain in it. So every morning, so every morning when the city still ain't fully woken, I'm already in the field with every word and every token of respect I earned the hard way, stacked and molded like a structure built to last beyond the flash of those who only sought the luster. The hustle is a river, either learn to swim or perish. The only things worth having are the things you learn to cherish. Through sacrifice and focus, and the grip between your fingers, the scent, the dedication on your clothes, it always lingers. Hard to earn, word is bond, and easy just to squander. The real ones keep their eyes ahead and never stop to wonder. It's the hustle, the grind, the price that you pay for a better tomorrow. You bleed through the day. No shortcuts on this road. Real ones already know. Hard to earn everything. That's how the legends grow. Yeah. Yeah. I trusted you with everything. My moves and my location. You smiled to my face while plotting my elimination. Called you my right hand since we was young on the corner. Now I'm looking at the evidence and everything's in order. Every detail, every signal, all the signs I overlooked. Turns out every page of loyalty was forged inside your book. Every time the boys showed up, the pattern wasn't random. You was feeding them coordinates from inside my phantom. The night they ran up on me wasn't reckless, wasn't rushed. Somebody gave the blueprint, somebody breached the trust. Somebody broke the bread with me, then sold me for the crumbs. Now I'm sitting in the silence doing mathematics on the sums. 2 + 2 been equal in your face since I recovered. Every conversation replayed, every detail rediscovered, pointed straight at you. And still I had to grieve it, cause the deepest kind of treachery is the kind you you don't believe it, they say keep your enemies closer, yeah, but nobody mentioned that your enemy been living in your circle with intention, breaking every cipher that you built with blood and grinding, feeding every secret to the opposition. Perfect timing while I'm out here laying bricks, you were removing the foundation. Every smile you gave me was a careful calculation of the moment, how to maximize the damage of your exit. Left me standing in the rubble trying hard to make sense of it. No more open doors, no more putting faith in faces, no more letting anyone inside my most important spaces. The circle getting smaller than the barrel of a weapon. Every person left inside it gotta pass the highest betting, cause betrayal is the teacher most expensive in its lesson. Leaves you scanning every blessing for a threat that needs addressing. I don't hate you for the move, almost gotta give you credit for the patience and precision, but I damn sure won't forget it. Now I move like smoke through the same streets that we claim, past the same spots that we built on. Everything has changed except the concrete and the cold and the shadows that remember every handshake, every promise from that summer to December when you made your play and showed me what you really always were. Calculation in the hoodie, every word a blurred line between the truth and fiction. You was fiction from the jump, now you living with the knowledge that you burned something for crumbs. The game is cold-coded in a January rooftop in the projects with no jacket and no signal and no backdrop of support. I've been out here restructuring from zero. You don't get to play the villain in the story of my era. No redemption arc, no closure, just a lesson fully learned. Some of the most valuable intel in this life gotta be earned through the fire of betrayal, through the smoke of who you trusted. Now the circle small and solid and the foundations readjusted. Watch your circle, not the outsiders, the ones inside your flame. The wolf don't need an invitation when he's already in the game. I rebuilt from what you broke me with, came back harder, cleaner, colder. Every scar you left me with just made the chip bigger on my shoulder. Moving different now, deliberate and surgical and quiet. You want war behind these walls, trust me, you don't want that riot. I'm ice in these veins now. Thank you for the climate change. You thought you into something, fool, you just unlocked a different range.
Watch the hands we feed you, cause they'll bite you in the dark. Real ones built in silence, fake ones only play the part. Circle only small, cause most of them ain't what they seem. Snake in the grass, you'll know them when they shatter your dream.
They said conform, perform, fit inside the uniform they sewing. I said no, I got a different kind of frequency that's blowing. Call it quirky, call it left field, call it outside of the margin. I call it being rooted while the copies keep on hardening. See, the daisy in the concrete got more soul than all your marble. The most extraordinary blooms emerge from what seems impossible to carve well. So I let my petals spread across the pavement of convention. Every bar I plan is run with purpose and intention. Got a creative inspiration and a needle full of wonder. Dig beneath the surface till you pull the truth from under. Most cats skim the water, I'm submerged below the shallow. Chasing pearls of wisdom through the dark and through the fallow. Seasons of confusion where the lessons came in bundles. Teacher said sit still, I said my mind don't come with muzzles. Grew up where the thinkers was the richest on the block, and currency was knowledge and the wisdom was the lock. Three sides to every story, yours and mine, and what lives between us. The space where understanding breathes is usually where truth is seen us. I navigate that middle like a diplomatic language, tending to the metaphors like gardens that I manage. Water them with questions, feed them beans of curiosity. The harvest comes abundant with a spiritual velocity. They chasing platinum records while I'm chasing something rarer. The reflection in the mirror getting truer and clearer. Ooh. Walk into the cipher with a different kind of presence. Not aggressive, not defensive, fully hearing, fully pleasant. Every syllable connected to the root of who I'm being. Most MCs be talking, but the real ones keep on seeing. Beyond the surface tension of the world they manufacture. Beyond the shiny objects and the culture they have fractured. I'm speaking to the ones who feel like strangers at the table. The ones who got the gift but been convinced they just unable. Don't need the gold to shine when you illuminated inward. The light that comes from knowing self is permanently tended. To the culture, to the children, to the ones who feel different. Let your difference be your power. That's the whole curriculum. They mass produce the copies and they market them as major, but the original edition always outlives all the paper. I'm the limited, the rare, the unrepeatable edition. Read between the bars, that's where you find a real definition. Abstract, but I'm grounded, cosmic, but I'm earthy. Connected to the ancestors and everything I'm worthy of receiving. I achieve it through the practice of awareness. The world tried hard to dull us, we responded with more awareness. So I'll keep my daisy growing through the cracks. So what's expected? keep my frequency peculiar and my spirit unaffected by the noise of imitation or the hunger for approval. Real originality don't need nobody's removal. It just stands, lets the flowers do the talking in the wind. Word to plug one, plug two. This is where the real begins. Be yourself, ain't nothing realer than the skin you came in. Every road you walk is sacred, every chapter worth claiming. The world got enough copies. Be the original, keep it true, keep it true. That's the principle.
Yeah. Yeah. Woke up at noon with an empty refrigerator. Rent due in the week and the landlord's a hater. Pocket full of lint and a head full of options. Some of them legal, most of them not quite proper. When you raised with survival is the morning conversation. You learn real fast that desperation got no patience. This ain't the hustle that they talk about in seminars and speeches. It's the kind that lives between the cracks where daylight never reaches. Sundown to sun up, moving through the alleys with precision. Every step I took was calculated like a surgical incision. Knowing every exit route before I ever made an entrance. Cause in Compton one mistake can turn your future into sentences. The block don't care about your feelings or your 5-year plan. Out here every shorty gotta figure out his program. I seen good men crumble when the pressure came to visit. I seen Stone Cold Killer show a softness so exquisite when they babies called him daddy. Yeah, the streets will show you layers, show you kings reduced to pawns and pawns who became players. The hustle got a heartbeat, it ain't glamorous or glorious. The 3 a.m. decisions that don't make it in the story. When the cameras and the journalists come sniffing around the block, they show the broken windows but they never show the clock that never stopped for nobody. Not the weak, not the strong. Out here every second, you ain't moving, something's wrong. I move with calculation, kept my circle small and tighter. Every loose lip in the neighborhood could end your chapter quicker. So I watched before I spoke and I observed before I acted. Mapped the whole terrain before I let my plan get drafted. They call me easy for a reason. Easy on the surface, but beneath the Compton cap was someone ruthless in his purpose. Hey, see the corner store owner, know my name, know my order, no. Dancing on the line between a life and the board, or something cleaner, something better. But the better never call me loud enough to drown the noise of everything that haunted. Every block, every face, every debt not yet collected. The hood don't give receipts for all the loyalty you invested. The hustle is a monster, and it'll swallow you whole. If you don't ride it like you own it, it'll swallow your soul. And where I'm from, the soul is usually the first thing taken. By the poverty, the violence, and the ground always shaking. Beneath your feet ain't nothing solid, ain't nothing guaranteed except the hunger in your belly and the hunger in your greed for something more than what they handed you at birth. On this corner every day I woke up knowing I was one step closer, but one step further from the edge. And the edge was always closer. The reaper on the roster and the block was always colder than they show you in the movies where the hustlers drive the Benzes. Out here most of them are buried before anybody mentions. They name in past tense and that weight sits on my sternum. Every time I make a move I hear the streets say what you weren't. So I hustle in the daylight and I hustle after midnight. Put everything I had into the dark to find a flashlight. Cause where I'm from you either burn or you become the ash. And I ain't come this far to let them bury me that fast. Ruthless was the motto. Not just reckless, not just cold. It means you do what's necessary when the truth must be told. That Compton hustle, survival of the real, when you got nothing left, you learn exactly how you feel. No handouts, no shortcuts, no safety net below. Just a raw, unfiltered grind, and everything you know. Sitting on the fire escape, watching smoke curl from the cipher. 7 flights up, below me every day getting tighter. The grip of circumstance on every face I'm witnessing. The old heads on the bench still trapped inside they glistening. Dreams of a city that was never really built for us. Every promise made from podiums eventually turned to dust. I write my testament and marker on the staircase wall, where the names of all the fallen get preserved beyond the scroll. From my window I can map the whole geometry. The struggle, the bodega and the preacher in the corner, and the hustle, the ambulance that comes too late. The chalk line in the morning, the mother on the phone at 3 a.m. receiving the warning that her son ain't coming back in any form she was expecting. And the block absorbs the grief the way the pavement absorbs wetting. Then it dries and hardens back and life resumes its posture. Every death becomes a memory, becomes a lesson and a closure. I've been mapping exit routes since I first learned what maps were. Watching every ceiling crack for signs of something after. Something larger than this building, larger than this borough. Something worthy of the hunger and the discipline and thorough preparation that I built from nothing but intention. Every book I read was ammunition for ascension, from a circumstance designed to keep the ceiling low and heavy. I've been loading up my mind since before I was ready. These hallways smell like yesterday, and everything before it. Every family got a novel, and these walls been trying to store it. You can hear it in the pipes at night. They groan and moan with the weight of generations who was told to make it alone, without the tools, without the language, without nothing but survival. Every morning that you wake up is a victory revival. Against the forces that was betting on your permanent reduction. We've been building cathedrals out of poverty's construction. I move through these projects like a surgeon through anatomy. Every exit, every angle locked inside my memory. The paranoia ain't a sickness, it's a calibrated sensor. When the danger wears the face of your most trusted contender. I've been wrong about a face before and paid for it completely. The lesson reconstructed how I read a room discreetly. Now before I'm comfortable, I'm reading all the layers, separating real disciples from the government-made players. This ain't poverty tourism, this is living inside scripture. Every day another verse is added to the picture of a life that built itself from everything it was denied. These walls contain multitudes of everything inside. The dreams, the births, the prayers, the grief, the 4 a.m. negotiations between a man and God about his family situation. The smell of someone cooking after midnight, 3 doors over, and you realize that everyone around you needs the same closure. The city is a novel and the projects is a chapter that the critics always skip, becomes alive with laughter and with pain and contradiction, and with love beyond condition. I've been reading this book daily since before I had permission to understand the language. Now I speak it like a native. Every line I drop is documentary, not creative fiction. Every bar is pulled from something that I witnessed, word for word. The truth don't need embellishment for fitness. From my fire escape at dawn, I see the skyline getting painted. Gold across the rooftops and the struggle feels less tainted by the darkness of the night before. It always looks like maybe something better's on the other side of all that kept us cagey and afraid. I hold that feeling till the sunrise disappears. Then I strap back up and navigate another day out here. The concrete is my Bible, and the streets are all my verses. We've been writing our survival into everything that hurts us. From the concrete came the roses, even when they tried to stop it. From the nothing came the everything. They never tried to clock it. East Coast, state of mind.
Queensbridge to the Bronx,